Ladies and gentlemen, we're here, Rubber Radio 92.1. How we doing? How we doing? We're going to have a good old time today. We have in the office right now, Senator Freyelli. Big round of applause to him.
Oh, please, you're too kind.
How you doing, sir?
Not too bad, not too bad. How about yourself? I like the setup here. It's my first time up here to the studio proper.
Well, I appreciate it. I appreciate it. Yeah, I'm glad we had a way to get a station up in here again, going to New Hanover, because I heard it was a beautiful city. So we have a lot to talk about because there's a bright future here. Well, at least we hope so. So tell us a little about yourself, where you're from, little background family-wise.
I grew up in North Yankton. Frigid winters and mediocre summers up there in the big city. But through some unfortunate circumstances, my father and his brother had to decided to look for greener pastures elsewhere and ended up in the beautiful, lush island state of New Hanover.
Nice, nice. And when did you decide to get involved in the politics of New Hanover to make sure the people were good?
Yeah, I mean, I had a few business opportunities here in the state. Had a food and beverage service group. We also had an airline travel agency, and then all under the umbrella of the Barrington International Group of Distributors, Investors, Collections, Knowledge, and Sales. Of course, stock exchange. That's going to be BIGDICKS. And I just got a little fed up with seeing all the wasteful spending in government, and the overreach, over-regulation, and I said, listen, enough's enough. My own business interests aside, I gotta do something for the everyday man. Because they're crushing us out here.
Tell me about it. It took me a while to get my own station, and people finally understood that the voice needs to be heard. So you know how it is. It's just politics everywhere, in every corner, every part of the world. But I'm glad that you decided to make a change because I know a lot about you. You're a good businessman, and I feel like politics don't always need politicians. They need business people. So it's this world is funny. It's changing every day. So I'm glad that you took that route because I did vote for you for the first time. So we'll see what's going on here the second time around because I heard a lot of things are changing, like your bill. Let's talk about the 420 bill that I was so happy for passing because, I like my joints here and there. I didn't have to make my excuse about being medical and this and that. I just want to be free willy like we were back in the 60s and smoke my doobie and not worry about the popos, But I was so happy that you passed that. And now I'm hearing that this other senator wants to squash that. So let's talk about that.
Oh well, listen. I try to be cordial with my fellow legislative body members. So we haven't had any official conversations in that capacity yet. So I'm glad you brought it up and not me. But the problem I have with the whole thing is, for a $200 copay, you go to the doctor and get the most addictive, mind-numbing, organ-damaging drugs your heart desires. But there's people trying to demonize folks who enjoy something that grows naturally out of the earth that you don't have to do anything to besides let it dry out a little bit. I mean, at the port there was tons of illegal substances seized. Okay, of the seizures last year, there was approximately, street value wise, of $250 of marijuana seized.
Jesus,
But
where's that money going?
well, hear me out here. Okay, so I mean that's a small amount, in reality, but that it cost almost $1 million worth of taxpayer money to seize that $250,000 worth of marijuana. Okay, so now, if we're talking heroin, fentanyl, crack cocaine, the heavy stuff, then of course 100%, I can justify the cost gap there. But to spend $1 million to seize $250,000 worth, I mean, what are we doing? So on the counter side of that, since this bill has been passed and active, we've seen tax revenue of almost $1.5 million just in the 4.5 months that this bill's been passed. So you tell me what's really better for the people.
Me smoking in the streets, not looking over my shoulder to be worried about the popos. That's all I care about. But I see your point. And what makes you think that he's not on your same sheet of music? I don't understand how that's simple math right there to me. And I was terrible at math, but that seems like simple math to me. So I was like wondering why this other senator, that has to be something behind the something that this other senator wants to just squash it out of nowhere. You know, it's a $1 billion industry and it's making money for everybody. So why not be so greedy about it? You know.
Well, I don't want to put words in his mouth. I can't claim to have any prior knowledge of any personal feelings or political motives he may or may not have in regard to the subject. I can't say if perhaps maybe he had some kind of bad experience that was involved cannabis or substrate products. I'm not sure, but in my prior experience, the only time somebody doesn't want a product for sale that is widely considered fairly harmless is because they might be losing a piece of the market share. Now, again, I don't want to accuse anyone of doing anything untoward, but just from what I've seen,
I got that, sir. I got that. Well, this is 92.1 Rebel Radio. We're going to be right back after this commercial break. And we have Senator Freyelli here. And we have a few more questions. And he has to get back to some business with the state. So we'll be right back after this commercial. 92.1 Rebel Radio, baby. That's right, ladies and gentlemen. We're back at 92.1 Rebel Radio. This is DJ Jackson McCloud with Senator Freyelli from New Hanover. Senator Freyelli, what district are you in?
It's going to be District 7. So I don't have much residency in my district. It's more commercial shipping and air freight, sector of the city. So,
and these sectors, I'm kind of curious how they being picked for these other senators is because of like kind of interest like that, because you're a businessman and it makes sense to put you by all those things instead of just putting you in a rural residential area.
Yeah, great question. Well, so originally we had 4 main districts because just based on the population of those areas. And then as we grew, the city grew, more people moved in and, had families and, the city overall grew. We ended up with 7 districts. So, you're welcome to run for any district of your choosing, but typically how it happens is just people who aspire to be politicians or enter the political field tend to represent kind of the area where they live or where they're from. So
yeah, makes sense.
Yeah, since I'm not from from the city originally, I wasn't born here. And I live a little bit up north. I figured the business shipping industry area, would be more suited. So you tend to get people from those areas who run for those areas.
Okay, makes sense. I appreciate that information because a lot of people are a little concerned. Not concerned, but some people always have questions, and I feel like if I had that question in my head, other people, my listeners, had that same question because we don't know who's messing with what districts. Since population is getting bigger due to the influx of residential houses and businesses coming into the state. So money is money, and I get that. So what are your future plans? Anything on Grove Street or what's going on with that down there in the city?
Yeah, as far as going forward with the Grove Street project, we've got a few bids in. There's some issues because the way that the area was originally built was kind of a jetty with the waterway, and then it was built up, and then they built the cul-de-sac and the housing over there. So originally the idea was to put in some higher end dining, fine dining and retail establishments, as it's so close to the airport and the stadium. It's kind of the entertainment district, if you will. But we want to make sure that the city planners can do it safely and soundly. Last thing we want is some kind of collapse or mudslide of infrastructure failure. We don't want anybody to get hurt out there. So
Yeah,
we're
definitely be
just taking it
terrible.
one day at a time.
Definitely be terrible that happens. I do appreciate that the new airport in Valentine is much friendlier, user friendly. Excuse me, as to travel, because the other one was kind of rough trying to get out of Valentine, especially since I'm here at Valentine's. I had a hard time getting out, but I appreciate the new airport because it's really nice. It's more accommodating to helis or whatever the case may be, even private jets, even big ones too. So I appreciate, kudos to you, senators, for getting that in.
Oh well, yeah. Again, I mean, I got to be honest here. I don't want to take too much of the credit for that. The governor was the one who, at least on the legislative side, kind of spearheaded that, because he brought up the same point. He said, how can we expect the county to, have a decent airline industry and/or air freight, air cargo industry when the infrastructure is not in place to support it. Kudos for him to getting that $2.3 billion freed up to build that airport.
Oh, that was well worth it. Well worth it. And bringing up the governor, how is he doing after I heard he got attacked not too long ago?
Yeah, I'll tell you, this guy, he might be part cat, because he's got about 9 lives over here. I've seen him. He's a resilient guy. He's a tough guy. He's he's got people around him. He went to a conference actually in D.C. That's where he's at now. He's meeting with a few other governors of some other states as they prepare for Q3 of 2024, and yeah, he's excited to be flying back in a couple of days, and he looks forward to having a few debates, I think, with his political opponent.
I'll be definitely streaming that live. I was supposed to have a meeting with him yesterday, but we had some lines crossed, so that was my bad, and we'll get him back in the office soon enough. But I'm glad to have you here, and like I said, any plans for the future? What do you have coming up? Anything coming up in plan for New Hanover?
Well, I don't want to. Next month we'll have re-elections for the state senate district, so I'd like to encourage anyone who supported me in the past, or as well as anyone who may be unhappy with, their current representation, to give your boy a chance here. But yeah, I mean, I'll tell you what I do. I govern through the voices of the people for my district. So I mean, I got mostly, like I said, I got transport companies, cargo freight, air freight companies. So they voice their concerns, be it unions or port conditions, air traffic control issues, industry regulations, whatever. They voice to me their heartbreaks, and I try to ease the tension with whatever meaningful legislation we could pass.
And how you feel about this Adam guy? Is that his name? I don't even know his name. This is new to me. Running for governor against Lambino.
Oh, Alex Jones.
That guy, Alex, yeah, that guy.
Yeah, listen, I don't think I've ever met the man personally, so it's far from me to besmirch the character of anyone I haven't had the pleasure of meeting. I am aware of his social media presence, and I'm not sure if that kind of character is who the people would feel most secure in governing the state. I mean, again, Lambino, survivor of multiple attacks on his person. He's got 4 bills passed in his first term. We've seen a decrease in crime in the city, as well as a $2.3 million increase in Q1 state revenue wise. So I mean, it'd be hard to justify replacing him with almost anyone, but certainly a character.
Definitely. Well, hope that he has good intentions for New Hanover, and hopefully we'll see what he has to say when those what you call those things, debates. Well, Senator, I appreciate you coming along because I know you're a busy man, and I appreciate you talking about anything you want to discuss from your side.
No, no, I appreciate you having me on. It's been great talking to you. I would just like to remind, again, remind the citizens, vote Lambino for Q3 of 2024. And if you're a resident or business of District 7, I would sincerely appreciate your support.
Is he a supporter of the
And
420 bill? Because if he is, then he definitely got my vote. I should not say that. Damn me, but yeah, yeah.
well, I'll tell you what. I mean, the governor has the power to veto bills, and that was not one he vetoed. So by default, I'd call that in support of.
I do too. Well, Senator, I appreciate you once again. This is one of the highlights of my career. So, because I've been following you for so many years now. So, thank you for coming. And you're mostly welcome anytime you want back here at Rebel Radio. If you want to speak on anything, the airways are always open. I will turn off anything for Senator Freyelli. So make sure you come back, okay?
Oh, yeah, I appreciate that. I appreciate. Thank you to your loyal listeners here, and yeah, if anybody needs anything, I'd encourage them to reach out to their district senator, and yeah, let's keep New Hanover sane again.
I appreciate you for that. And once again, you're welcome here anytime. And thank you again. This is Senator Freyelli, everybody. Round of applause. And right now, we're going to head back to the commercial break. And after that, we're going to listen to some music here live on 92.1 Rebel Radio in New Hanover, baby.